Detective Benoit Blanc reads the Reverend Judd Duplessis' writings about the murder. 9 months ago, in his job, he lost his cool and punched a man. He is facing the disciplinary board for it. It turns out that he was a boxer before becoming a reverend. He pleads with them to give him one more shot, as he doesn't want to be lived by the violence and wants to spread Jesus' message of love and forgiveness. Outside, Bishop Langstrom meets with him. He says he likes his talk inside. They will send him to Our Lady of Perpetual Fortitude, a church led by Monsignor Jefferson Wix. The population is decreasing year by year. He feels it will need what he said inside. He arrives at the church and is surprised to see the crucifix is missing. Father Wix comes in. He asks if he is here to take his church away, but he replies no. He introduces him to Martha, who does cleaning in the church. She welcomes him. To train him, Wix asks him to take his confession. He starts the confession, and Wix starts to tell him about the graphic details of his masturbation. Judd now understands that it's his way to mess with him. He's settled in a church room. There's also another employee in the church, Samson Holt, the gardener, who is also Martha's lover. He meets with him, and he says that he used to be an alcoholic, and Wix also used to drink heavily. But one day, he told him that if he could stop drinking, he also could. Monsignor Wix gives him the strength to carry on every day, and her sweet Martha. He can do anything for her. Martha basically does all of the church work. She even plays the organ. There is a crypt of Wix's father where kids draw some dirty images. Martha says they should set up a security camera. Judd is measuring the empty crucifix. When Wix comes and says he keeps that empty intentionality as a reminder of the sinful act of harlot whore. Judd asks Martha about harlot whore. She says harlot whore was Wix's mother. Wix's grandfather, Prentice Wix, who founded the church, had a daughter named Grace. She was a bad seed, always wearing revealing clothes, doing unholy things. She became pregnant and gave birth to Jefferson Wix, and to stop him from following her path. He told her that if she lived with him, he will give her his vast fortune after he died. She started to live with him, waiting for her father's death. Prentice tells young Martha that wealth is like Adam's apple. They must protect their loved one from its temptation. She saw Prentice give his last communion and died there. Grace immediately went to his attorney, but he revealed that Prentice has spent all her inheritance. There is not a single penny left. Nobody knows what he did with it. The only thing he left her was a Jesus showpiece. In rage, she entered the church and ransacked the place. Little Martha came there and said her father would forgive her. She attacked her when others came to take her away. She died smashing into Prentice's tomb. Now Judd looks at the regulars of the church. There is Vera Draven, local attorney. Her father and Wix used to be drinking buddies. After her father died, she took his place. Her adopted brother Cy, who tried politics but failed. So now he moved back to the town and a regular in the church. When Vera was young, her father brought Cy and asked her to raise him. Everyone knows that he is her father's illegitimate son, but she has learned to accept him as her brother. There is a local doctor, Nat Sharp. His life revolves around his wife until she left him with their children. Since then, he has become an alcoholic and wants his wife back anyhow. Another regular, Lee Ross, a famous sci-fi writer. He moved back here to get away from the liberal bullshit environment. After moving, his popularity is in slow decline. He is writing a book about Wix and takes all his hope in it. But Judd feels it's not very good. There is a new participant in the church, famous cellist Simone. She has become disabled because of a nerve problem. She feels that faith in God can heal her. Wix is a charismatic character. He keeps his core group close. He has a method. Every week, he will pick someone, mostly a newcomer, and starts to bash them. What he is hoping is to walk out. With every walkout, one side is taken, and it's his. He reinforces his belief to his core supporters with hate. Judd thinks about counterbalancing this. He organized a meeting with Wix pupils. He tells them his story. At a young age, he used to be a boxer, and he killed a man in the ring. After that, fell into despair. Until he found Christ by confessing his sin. Christ helped him to sustain the pain. He thinks the church should be like that. But they ask him if Wix is coming. But he says he will inform Monsieur Wix soon. Cy messaged Wix. Wix isn't happy about it. Others also feel it's not right without Monsieur Wix. They all leave. Cy says he will put this on YouTube. Martha says it's bad that his little coup didn't work. He says it's not like that. They seem to fear Wix. Can they pray or confess in front of Wix? Martha says she can. In the church, Judd sees Martha coming out of the confession box. Monsieur Wix comes out after her. Wix is again messing with Judd by confessing bullshit. But this time, he snaps. He says he saw his medical report. He is incapable of erection. He can handle whatever this is. But he wants to change the way he handles the church. Like Nat, he should forgive his wife and move on with his life. But instead, he keeps hating his wife. Lee was a good writer. But now, he feels the world is after him. He is angry all the time, and he even created a moat around his house. Simone is giving huge donations to the church in the hope of getting better. Cy is putting his harsh messages online. This represents the church in the wrong way. No new people are coming to the church. It's the same old flock, and it seems he is hardening them. Suddenly, Wix punches him. He says right now he is angry, and he should because if not he will hit him again and start hitting him. But he blocks and gets up into the fighting position. He says good, he is trying to gain the lost ground. His type of teaching doesn't work. The world wants to destroy them. Feminists, Marxists, and whores are trying to get them. But he carries the burden to hold the line. Judd says he is poisoning the church, and he will do what it takes to save it. Even cut him like a cancer. But Wix performs the absolution and leaves from there. He sees that Cy has recorded everything. One day, he hears Wix is lecturing his flocks. He goes in, but seeing him, Wix throws a book at him, and he leaves. Saddened, he is getting drunk in a local bar. He unintentionally breaks the lamp head, but the bar owner says it's fine. He wants to help him go home, but Judd leaves alone. On the way, he throws the wolf's head at the church, breaking a window. Samson asks who is it, so he runs away from there. It's Good Friday, and Wix is doing his usual lecture. Judd feels today he is less calculated, more unhinged. After giving the lecture, Wix takes some time to rest inside a side of the chamber, out of everyone's sight, while Judd continues the service. When suddenly, with a clicking sound, Wix falls on the ground. Judd goes to check on him. He sees a wolf's head behind his back. Others also come to check. When Judd sees that he is bleeding, Nat asks him not to touch anything and goes to check on the body. Seeing the red wolf's head, Martha screams that it's the devil who struck Wix. Nat takes out the head and sees its weapon, and Wix has bled a lot. The ambulance comes immediately, but he had already announced dead. When Judd joined, the other police were arriving. Geraldine Scott, the local police chief, interrogates Judd. She says he was last seen with the wolf head and was the only one who hated Father Wix. She even shows the video where he told him that he would get rid of him. Devastated, he makes his way back to the church. He sits in front of the empty crucifix and asks for help. When someone comes in, and it's no other than Benoit Blanc, Judd welcomes him in the church. Benoit says he is not religious at all. His mother was a devoted Christian, but he had a complicated relationship with her. Judd asks him to share his thoughts honestly about the place. He says it's all best on storytelling. A story to reinforce the same lie again and again. He gives a harsh critique of Christianity. Judd laughs and says it's good that he is being honest. He is right, it's storytelling, but not on lies, but something profound that is always inside them. Can only be expressed through storytelling. Benoit is impressed. Judd suddenly starts to cry. He says he felt like a priest, but will be gone soon. Suddenly, Geraldine comes in, and it's she who sent Benoit. Benoit asks them to wait outside. He introduced him to Judd. He is a private detective here to investigate Wix's murder. Judd says everyone thinks he killed Wix, but he didn't. Benoit says that he didn't sleep in praying for a long time, evidenced by his dry lips and dirty knees. What he sees is an innocent man tormented by guilt. He also thinks he is not the murderer and asks him to join him to investigate the real murderer. He takes him to show the body. But seeing the body, Judd says he can't do this. Benoit says not to worry, and he then flips the body to inspect the wound. Judd comes out, unable to bear. Benoit says only he can help him solve, being in a unique position at the time of the murder. Geraldine comes out and says if he doesn't want to be here, he doesn't have to. He can come with a lawyer. But Judd says he wants to find the murderer. They go to the bar from where the murder weapon, wolf head, came. The bar owner says it wasn't red. He shows them a picture of the lamps with the head intact. Benoit asks him about the piece he threw. Judd says Martha discovered the broken glass, but there is no devil's head. Benoit is looking at the picture carefully. Others also join, and they notice that Dr. Nate's bag is still their same as picture. Judd calls him, and he comes out. Judd approaches him, but he leaves the bar cursing him. They all come to the church. Samson, seeing Judd, closes his door. Geraldine asks Benoit if he feels he can solve this. He says she has done a good thing by calling him. The case goes beyond simple police work. Someone has committed an impossible crime, and they must unravel it. He takes out a book of Hollow Man, which is a perfect book to understand the impossible crime. Judd remembers something. They go to the church office, and Judd shows the list of books in their church book club. Benoit, seeing the list, says it's practically a syllabus of how to commit an impossible crime. All the regulars of the church have access to those books. They then go to the crime scene. Martha secretly watches them. They are going to study all the methods of a locked room murder. First, he may have been stabbed before going to the room. He asks Judd to take his place. Something may have launched from behind and struck, which will be hidden from others, but not from Father Judd. Judd says nothing came from behind, so it's cancelled. Next, he was stabbed by someone or something from outside the room. But the room has one side open, so others would notice something, so it's also cancelled. Now the last and third possibility. Some device may have been used to stab him from inside the room. He checks the place, saying the walls are thick, but a small radio signal can be used to turn on some device. Judd says he remembers Wix falling with a cling sound, and he was facing the door. So something must have come from behind the wall. Benoit checks it but finds nothing. Judd says what if there was a false wall? Geraldine says they searched all. There is no chance. Removing would take time. Benoit checks the breaker box inside the room to control the light. He asks Chief what they found here. She says it was empty except for the body and red thread. She shows them, and Benoit studies the place. Suddenly, Martha comes in and lies down on the floor. She tells Judd to throw them out. It's not right to make this holy place like a crime scene. Judd takes her out and asks if he can help. She tells him to leave. He always hated Wix, and for that, nobody likes him here. She compares him with Harlot Whore and calls him a false priest. Judd angrily slaps her finger. He says he is going to bring out the real murderer and will purify the place from sin. He goes to Samson's room and starts to use his punching bag to take out his anger. Seeing Samson watching a baseball match, he asks him if he was watching the match during communion. He says no, Martha won't let her. So he recorded yesterday's match. They take the tape to the police station. The technician shows them that there is a glitch in the footage around the time of Wick's death. There's strong chance it may have occurred because of radio frequency. Benoit isn't convinced. He asks if he can sync this up with Wick's death footage. He plays it and sees that the glitch didn't happen when Father falls. It happened when Judd went to check on him. With the dead end of their investigation, Judd gets worried. Benoit tells Judd he didn't sleep for 36 hours and it's time for his bedtime. He takes him back to the church. He tells him that he is missing a piece. He suspects it's in his head. He asks him to write about the event leading up to the murder of Wix and spare no detail. Judd finished writing, and Benoit finishes up reading. He then goes to Judd. Why didn't he tell him? He writes that he joins others when the police come. That means he was in the church alone. He had the time to move things before the police search. He saw Father Wix drinking. Benoit asks why he needed to hide that. Judd adds Samson stopped drinking because Father Wix had done so, and he doesn't want him to go down that path again. He hid the bottle and took it out when everyone was outside. He says it's not important with the murder. Benoit angrily says by doing this, he protected the killer. He asks to see the falsk. Judd searches his room, but it's not there. Someone must have stolen it. Benoit says tomorrow they will question all the Wix pupils and find out what they are hiding. But Judd has fallen asleep. Benoit watches the last sermon of Wix uploaded on social media by Psy. Wix is being buried inside his grandfather's tomb. A crane has arrived to open it. Martha requests others for some alone time with Father Wix. Judd sees that she keeps telling the father he will rise again. Nat comes in and closes the coffin. They take him inside the tomb. They seal the tomb shut. An employee gives Judd the receipt. They then go to question the flock. But they are not interested in talking with him. Lee calls him a priest by name only. He thinks that with Benoit, he will expose this evil church and someone will make a movie with idiotic versions of themselves. Suddenly, Martha screams, seeing Simon standing up. She says she can walk, but it just hurts. She says that they should expose this place. She was stupid enough to believe she could get healed. She still wants to believe it. Benoit says he wants to know about the meeting where Wix threw the book at Judd. Nobody is interested in talking when Psy comes and says he will tell them. Others try to stop him. Nat says the meeting has nothing to do with murder, but it can cause trouble for them. Psy says he recorded the whole thing. Judd closed the door, and they start to watch. Vera says that from his colleague, she learned that he has filed an AOP acknowledgement of parentage. It's written Wix is the biological father of Psy. She criticizes him, says her father came to his rescue, and she has to raise his child while he goes on with his life. They asked Sai if he knew. He says not until Vera told him this morning. Wix says yes, Sai is his own, from a woman who has no importance. He kept this secret for a long time, but he is going to come out with the truth soon. He tells them to flee the sinking ship, but others say they are all shaken by this revelation. But they need Father Wix. They say they are with him, and nothing he says will change their mind. Wix says he will give his final service on Easter Sunday and close their church after that, but not before he destroys each of them. Nat with his drinking problem, treating patients and children while drunk. The medical board should know about this. To Lee, the book he is writing is bootlicking bullshit. He will contact his publisher friends and bury the book where he put all his faith. To Vera, he says she was her father's nightmare. He would be ashamed to see her. To Simon, he can't heal a faithless woman. Simon says she gave him a lot of money. Wix says he never promised her anything, and she will die in that chair. Everyone is very much shaken. He starts lecturing them angrily when Judd comes in, and he throws the book. To others, he says he will expose all of them after his last service. Judd opens the room, and everyone has left except for Vera. Judd asks Sai why Wix did that. Sai says because he told him to. When Vera told him he met with Wix, he embraced him as a son. He told him that he hated this place. He wants to live, and now he can. Apparently, he has found his grandfather's vast wealth. He convinced him that with his cult of personality and the vast wealth, with the power of the internet, they could build an empire. He can even make him president. He told him that they need to burn this flock, as they are a liability. If they associate with them, it will harm their reputation. Benoit asks about the vast fortune he was talking about, if he told him where it is, as he is next in line to claim it. But sadly, he didn't, but he deduced that the only way Prentice could hide the vast money was in a Swiss bank account. He needs to find out the account number. The only thing he knows is that he keeps saying Eve's apple will be restored to the tree. He asks Vera if she knows what he meant. Vera says that even if she knew, he wouldn't tell him. She tells him to take his thing, or it will be on the street. Sai tells Benoit that if he can find anything related to that, inform him. He will pay, as all leave. Benoit and Judd rush to the showpiece that Prentice left for his daughter. They break it open. They search the whole thing, but find nothing useful. Judd is about to put the receipt when he notices that the crane was ordered before Father Wix died. They immediately call the construction company. He asks the employee about the order and wants to know who ordered it, but the employee keeps talking. Judd hurries her up. She says the employee who took the order is not present. She will talk to him and inform them. She asks for his help in her personal matter. Judd remembers his priestly duty and goes to the other room to talk to her. The night falls and Benoit is annoyed. He sees Judd is praying with the employee. Martha comes in. She says there is a storm. They need to lock up the church. Benoit goes with Judd and asks why he is wasting time. He says he has an epiphany like Paul on the way to Damascus. He must remember he is a priest first. Benoit tries to explain to him, but he says he became a priest to help people like Christ help him in his worst time, not playing detective. The police are coming. Benoit tells Judd to go. He will handle them. Geraldine comes in and says he didn't tell them all the possibility of closed-room murder. There is a fourth. After watching the video, she finds that before others came, Judd has 9 seconds alone time with the victim. Plenty of time to stab someone with a concealed weapon. She says he knew, yet he toyed with them. Benoit says they don't have all the pictures. If she gives time, but she says they have the killer and are going to arrest him. Judd is going towards the tomb when he notices Samson. He stops after hearing a sound from inside the tomb. The tomb door breaks open. The motion sensor lights are turned on. From the tomb comes out Wix. He is going towards Samson. Judd runs to save him, but Wix takes him into the jungle. Judd follows and someone knocks him out. When he wakes up, he sees Wix standing there. He tries to attack him. Again, he wakes up and sees Samson lying dead, stabbed by someone. Benoit comes there, and Judd runs away from there. Geraldine also comes and discovers the body. They also discover the broken tomb. They go inside and find Father Wix's body missing. Benoit checks the corpse of Prentice. Martha comes and screams praise the Lord, he has returned. Chief tells her officer to barricade the place. One officer comes and informs her that the motion light has a camera. She ordered them to take it to the lab. Martha hears from the police that Samson is dead. She runs to the dead body and starts to cry. The police take her away. Judd is running through the jungle. He gets a call and picks it up. It's the construction company employee. She informs him that the crane was actually ordered by Monsieur Wix. Others get the news about Wix's resurrection. They all run to the church, except Nat, who opens the door and tells someone it's accomplished. Benoit in the police station sees the footage. It's Wix coming out and pushing Samson in the jungle. Another showing Judd following them. All evidence points to Judd. Benoit comes down and sees Judd is coming to turn himself in, but he pushes him outside. Inside the car, Benoit asks for the path to Nat's house. The flock has gathered in front of the tomb, and the police are stopping them. Benoit and Judd arrive at Nat's house. The place is ravaged. They go down to the basement, and a bad smell is coming from there. They see it's Wix's body. His hand is inside the acid tub. Benoit says the body is rotten. He then empties the acid tub. Inside the tub, there is a skeleton. By his wedding ring, they understand it's Nat. It seems like Wix has pushed him. He searches the place and finds all sort of things. Benoit calls Geraldine to inform her about everything. Judd goes out and says he killed Samson. He is going to turn himself in. Judd arrives at the church and tells everyone he is ready to confess. They go inside the church. Geraldine comes and arrests him for all 3 murders. Others get surprised hearing Nat's death. She asks him if he wants to confess. But before he can speak, Benoit makes an entrance. He tells him to stop, but others want him to speak. Chaos ensues. So Benoit goes to the stage and addresses the crowd. Everyone sits down. He says let's start with Wix's murder. The drink that Wix kept in the breaker box was spiked with a strong tranquilizer. After drinking that, he falls to the ground. The clunk sound was the bottle falling. Benoit asks him to remember what he saw first, the red devil's head with blood. They all missed it, but in the picture, there were 2 devil headlamps and both were missing. The killer paints it red, so he can put it on the back of Wix's vestments. The same red threads that were found on the ground. It was there when Wix entered the room. After he falls on the ground, Nat pushes the button, and the red blood comes out. When others come, Nat, being a doctor, goes to inspect the body. A distraction presented itself when Martha screamed. He takes out the devil's head and stabs him with another one. He searched for the flask, but Judd had hidden it. Later, he had to steal it. Wix was about to end his career, so he murdered him. Judd asks why kill him with this insane and elaborate stuff. Gallardine asks if Nat killed Wix, who killed him and Samson. Benoit says it all to create an amazing story. A holy priest died by the devil and rose from the dead. But it's time to unravel its secret. But suddenly, he has an epiphany. He sits down and says he can't explain how Wix come out from the tomb. Everyone is bamboozled. Cy records his confession that he can't explain. Chief takes everyone out. Outside, Cy tells the press that Benoit has expressed it as a miracle. Lee calls his publishers. He is going to publish his book about Wix. Vera tells Martha that now they are going to probably arrest Judd. Inside, Geraldine asks what happened. He says he is moved by Father Judd's words. He will let his enemy confess his own crime. Martha comes in, sits in front of Judd, and starts her confession. She saw Father Prentice giving the final communion. He shows her a jewel and tells her that it's all his wealth trapped in the jewel. He won't let her daughter's evil hand touch it. He engulfed the jewel and fell dead there. But his daughter Grace has found out about the jewel, but she doesn't know how. Benoit says she knew about the fancy brand. The showpiece is a custom-made item worth $20,000. No way it's for a plastic Jesus, there must be a jewel. She then ransacked the church, not with anger, but to find the jewel. When Martha told her, he knew where it was, and she would never find it. When she attacks her, asking for the jewel, she kept it secret for a long time, until Judd challenged her to confess, and she went to confess, but sadly to the wrong priest. She is falling sick. Benoit helps her. She then knew about Cy in the meeting. Hearing him talk, she suspected him. She called the concentration company and found out that Wix ordered the crane to open the tomb. She has failed Prentice. He warned her about falling into the wrong hands. Then she planned to steal the jewel before him and make Wix a miracle priest. She wanted his death to be divine and unsolvable, but she couldn't do it alone. So she takes Nat's help, a doctor, and most to lose from Wix's threats. She set up the drink and put the wolf head. Samson was also with them. When she was alone with Wix's body, he and Samson take out the body and put Samson there. She tells him he will rise again. Nat gives a signal, and he wakes up and retrieves the jewel. The door can be opened from inside, and he comes out as Wix, while the camera captures it. Nat as Samson waiting for him. A perfect miracle story. But Judd wasn't supposed to be there. After watching Samson's body, Martha understands what may have happened. She goes to Nat's house. He shows her the jewel. She confronts Nat, saying she knows about Samson's murder. Nat then confesses that Samson has knocked out Judd, but Nat has fallen to the temptation of the jewel. He sees an opportunity to take out Samson and frame Judd, and he took it. The only one left is her. Nat reveals that he poisoned her coffee. But she is more clever. When Nat was showing her the jewel, she let it fall on the ground and changed the coffee cups. When he understands he was poisoned, he tries to run but falls dead. She takes the body back to the basement and sets it up in such a way that it looks like the priest has risen from the dead and struck down the wicked. She then confesses all her sins and falls on Judd's lap. Benoit says she has taken the poison, and it's too late. Geraldine runs to call the ambulance. Martha asks for forgiveness for all of her victims and even for Grace. Judd performs the absolution and she falls dead. The jewel falls to the ground. 1 year later, Judd reopened the church. The flock has scattered. Lee published his book and became famous among the old men. Vera has moved out, and Simon has learned to play with her disability. Cy still wants his father's money, but Langstrom tells his lawyer that they were permitted to search the place, but they found nothing. Before going, Cy warns that if he does any large amount of spending, he will come for him. Langstrom says, despite Martha's confession, the miracle of Wix is still spreading. He says it will be hard for him to run this church. Judd is ready for them. Judd has fixed the crucifix, and inside it the jewel resides. You were watching the recap of the 2025 movie Wake Up Dead Man, a Knives Out mystery. Check out our other videos as well.